Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to find out. So it all started in 1923 near Germany. I was born here in Germany, and I was born in a hospital. And before getting to the hospital, my mom was in her car, and they crashed the car, and she was thrown out the window like that, legs first. She was so shocked that I came out, and that's how I was born, from a car accident in Germany in the 30s. After that, I went to a nice school. It was called Hitler Youth School. And in the Hitler Youth School, there was a flag. The kids every day, they come outside the school and be like, you climb my flag. Haha, there was a joke, and I was like, you totally move, fuck her. And I was like, okay. And I climbed to the top, and they're like, fuck, why? And I was like, haha, I'm cool. But then, it was posted on a death squad, and helicopters came, and they came, they shot down the flagpole. It was up in the wind. So I was put on a plane over Europe, and then they sent me to Nevada. Nevada, the airport with a big building, and we landed, and the building was on fire. So we noticed it was all on fire. So when I hopped off the plane, we went around, and we saw a taxi, and we drove it to the hotel, the Marriott Hotel. And we drove through the door, we didn't want to go through that way. They were like, excuse me, you drove your car into the Marriott, and we were like, you mad, bro? And they said, yes. And we got phone. So that was my first house. Skip forward to 7 years after my first love. And they protect her identity, calling her Spank Dolores. And she had a penis. It was a big one too, bigger than mine. I was super sad. And I was like, hey, can you chop off a vein in your pee-pee? And she was like, ah! She punched me right in the noggin. And I was, ah! It's my first love. Now, this is where I learned how to drive. So, my driving test is a success, if you do call it that. So, you're driving down the road. My old girlfriend, Stacy, went out with a giant pee-pee elongated by her crossed legs, and it hit the car. We were flying, and the instructor died in the crash, so I got to get my license. Here's when I graduated high school. Here's the high school. Here's the football field we were on. Yeah. And then this big car on fire, and I was like, you know me? Yeah, this is what I would do. We're sitting in my living room, and my dad got a letter in the mail that said, Vietnam. He had to go to Vietnam. And I was like, oh no, he's going to Vietnam. So to the office, and they were like, yes, that's a valid request to go to Vietnam. And they were like, this is, I'm just so in shock. I couldn't believe their eyes when I heard the news. This is me. I slept on my bed for a whole week, just sitting there thinking, my dad survived, Mom. This is a good day. My dad, his mom, he told me the story. He had his gun, and there was a gook. In his straw hat, he's like, his big boy shot my dad in the head. And that's the story of how my dad died. My dad went at the cemetery, looking at Dad's grave. So I came out and went next to it. And he's like, you are now 8 the minute. And I was like, oh, okay. So I marched home, thinking today's gonna be a good day. So when I got home, I sat in my living room thinking, who should I ethnically cleanse now? And saw my mom sitting on the side of the room reading a book on Jewish fashion. I was like, that's it, that's what I'm doing. And then I built a real somewhat of Auschwitz. I don't know if you would do with this. I just want similar accomplishments. So you can see when I lined up, when I think Jews were really thinking, what's the noises? I was like, that's actually going to be Vietnamese too, so what? Got troops in 19. And they're all walking in. Walking into my truck, and it was great because they were all like marching through, and then they come out the other side, come out there. But then, I was sitting there with my Nazi hat on, and my swastika just like there, and I was looking at the internet, and I saw YouTube. It was a video called Rick Roll, and I was like, oh my god, I have to do this too. And I made my first ever video based on my favorite cartoon show, Rick and Morty. And it was honestly my greatest achievement. And that's where I am now. I used to be Hitler, and then I found YouTube. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. And be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell button for extra content. I'll put on like a month. Be sure to look at that extra content.